Hi, I'm Steve from Off Grid Kit, and this is a quick guide to what you need to know and what you need to be able to tell me so that I can suggest a suitable kit for you, whether you're going to live off-grid or whether you're looking for backup power in the case of a power cut. The information's broadly similar. So the starting point is I need to know, and you need to know, how much energy do you use every day? You can look your bill, or you could check your meter every day, maybe for a week or so, and get an average figure. So we need a number for the number of units or kilowatt hours that you use every day. The second number we need to know is what's the most you're going to use at once. So I usually tell people, make a list of all the appliances that you've got or you think you're going to have in the house. And then just think through what would you be using at the same time. You might have the lights on, you've got the laptop on, maybe the kettle's on, you might have a wash on in the washing machine, you might have a heater on. All those things add up. So just think of what's the peak number, and either give us a list of the things that will be on at the same time, or if you know how much they use, give us the number. And the reason for this is we need to size an inverter that can power all those things at once. And that's the starting point. Once we know how big the inverter is, then we can size a battery for you. And we can use the figure you gave us for how much you use each day to do that too. And then we need to know how much solar we're going to have to power that and recharge your batteries so that they get a proper charge every day. So that gives us a kind of basic information for how we're going to size a system for you. The second question we get asked very often is, what can I power from this system? And the answer is pretty much anything, but it's going to depend essentially on how big your inverter is and how big your batteries are and how much money you're prepared to put into the system. If you're designing a new house or you're renovating a house, always say to people, it's easier to design out some of the usage. So electric heating is a big consumer, so coming up with other ways of heating your home. Power showers, another very big consumer. They tend to use more than 7 kilowatts, 7 to 10 kilowatts sometimes. EV chargers can be very large as well, although they can be designed to make use of power when there's a surplus. So you can run most things. All the common things, washing machines, tumble dryer in good weather if you need it, fridges, microwaves, all that kind of thing. Electric ovens are another big user, so you have to maybe think about gas or build in options so that you have an alternative. Something like an air fryer, would work okay. So you can use most things, but certainly talk to us first. If you have a power shower, an oven, or an EV charger or electric heating, let us know early on, because that's going to make a huge difference to the size of your system. The next question I get asked is, where will I put all this stuff? So your solar can go on the ground or on a roof. Most of my customers tend to put their solar on ground mounts because it's easier to maintain, it gives you more flexibility, you can often get better angle and better sight for the solar, and it gives you more choice. And if you have a two-story building, it can be a lot cheaper than putting up scaffolding and getting it on the roof. We don't fit roof-mounted solar, so you'll have to find a contractor to do that for you. Anywhere within, let's say, 50 meters of your house is fine. The closer the better. And it's possible to build a structure. You might build a log store or something and put your panels on that. That can be very useful. They need to be south-facing, somewhere between southeast and southwest. You might want to divide them up so that you have a spread. So some of the panels face southeast, some of them south, some of them southwest. And it's nice if you can adjust the angle of the panels so that they can be steeper in winter to catch winter sun and a bit flatter in summer. Although that's not essential. But we tend to angle panels for winter use a bit steeper because that's when you need the power most. In terms of the equipment, if your house is already wired or you're designing in a house, you need to allow a space somewhere near your consumer unit or your fuse box to mount the inverter board and solar chargers. I always say to people, don't put it in your living space. If you have a small space, it's worth building a waterproof outside box to put the kit on, because the fans and the inverters can get quite noisy when it's running flat out, or if you're using a generator to charge it. The next question is often, will it be enough? And with solar, the answer is an honest, no, it won't. Solar will get you through 6, maybe 8 months of the year, and the rest of the time, it'll do most of it, unless you're very frugal, but you're probably going to need some other backup. And that often takes the form of either a wind turbine or a generator. All the Multiplus and Quattro units that we supply are already able to take an input from a generator without any extra equipment. And that's the most common way that people would add input to their system. If you have a grid connection, you can always use the grid as a source of backup, if you like, running mostly off-grid, but then pulling a bit extra if you need it. Another question we get asked is, what if there's too much power? What happens in summer? So this is very common. Generally speaking, you're going to have enough solar to get you as far as possible through winter. But that means that in summer, you're going to have a big surplus. And again, most of these units are equipped with a relay that can allow us to switch on and off an electrical heater. Usually it's water heating. So you get some free hot water using the power that you're not using in summer. And that's very simple to do. There isn't any extra equipment really needed. It's a question of wiring. If you're at the stage where you're wiring a house, then it's really important to talk to us early on so that we can speak to the electrician and help you get the wiring in the right place so you don't have to alter it later. Last question. How long will it take? Our lead times are somewhere around 4 weeks at the moment. Usually we pre-build these systems onto a board and we bring the board to where it's going to be sited, and we can plug the battery in, connect the solar up, and then the electrical connection is ready to be made to the rest of the house. It's very simple. We do it in a day, and it takes a lot of the guesswork out because the system's already pre-configured and ready to go when it comes to you. I hope that's been useful. It's just a brief guide, but those are the most common questions, and hopefully, armed with that information, you'll be able to give us some numbers when you make an inquiry, and we can size the system well for you. Thanks for watching.